I'm old and I can't remember everybody. But you guys are great, and we really appreciate you watching. All of our new fans, loving it and loving all the shows that we do. So our first item here today is called the Pro Racing 70in1 pocket socket. So a lot of you maybe have a toolbox, maybe you don't, and a lot of you, when it comes to tightening nuts and bolts, you got to go through this whole thing of, oh my gosh, what size, where is it? Oh, I lost one, I can't find it. This is actually, it's developed by Pro Racing to be able to do quick adjustments wherever you need it. You're going to be able to adjust up to 70, I'm going to say that again, 70 different bolts. 70. So 70 different sizes. If you look at it, by the way, they come in red and they come in blue. If you look at it, all the bolt sizes are written right on the sides, both standard and metric. You've got them on both sides. You've got them all the way around. And even the one, now what you could do too in the middle, you'll see you can actually use this and put a bar through so you can crank it like that. It's just a brilliant idea. Look at the size of that socket, right? All you do, put it on and give it a turn. Like I said, if you want to put a screwdriver through there to give you a little more torque, you could do that as well. You get 2 of these for $19.95, and they're industrially built. I mean, they're meant for auto racing and professional racing to be able to do adjustment on the fly. Here's a guy that's super duper cool, my buddy Pete Kilcullen standing by. What's up, Pete?
Hey, Guy, how you doing?
Good, bud. So great item, Pete. Love this.
Yeah, I mean, it's so neat, and I think this is so perfect for everyone at home because, Guy, you mentioned it. Look at this. This little puck size tool can do 70 different sockets. So we've all maybe had that socket set. So I've got sockets, and then I've got those open end wrenches with the closed end wrench on the other side. And then I have all these different sockets. And you know what's funny about this, Guy, is that this is probably 3 or 4 different sets that I've had over the years. And this is kind of basically what's left. You lose them, you don't know where they are. So even having a set like that can be kind of a hassle. But here's the best thing about this, and you kind of mentioned it, is that we don't have to know anything about the bolts. When I have to go get that socket, I have to look at it. Is this millimeter, or is this going to be standard? Is it ½ inch, 3/4, whatever? You don't have to know that. It's all right here. You're not going back to the toolbox for anything else. They're all right there. You did show that it's on the outside, but it just doesn't matter because when you're using this, maybe you're just finding that bolt that you want to go on, and you're just looking. You say, oh, it's not that one, it's that one, it's that one, and you're just using it, and it's so simple to use till you find the right one, and you're ready to go. But you're never going back and forth, and many of us don't need that giant tool set. We need something quick. We need something easy, and this is it. Over 70 different bolts this will fit on, as you mentioned. But what else is nice about this is, as I said, you don't have to know what kind. But how about when you shear off those bolts a little bit? They're old. There's only 50% of the thread left. This is still going to work to loosen those bolts. So really the tool for people who don't really want to have a massive toolbox, don't have anywhere to store it, this is going to be perfect. It works. One of these, I think it's this red one, I've been using this because you and I aired this it was only on one other time. But since then, I've been using this over and over again. You mentioned that you can use it when you have this on a bolt. You can just push it through with a screwdriver to get more torque. Oh, something else I wanted to mention. When you're looking at these sockets, that's for when you have a longer bolt. Yeah. And then you can slip that over. But now if your bolt's this long, there's nothing you can do. But just again, if this was a bolt, it'll slip all the way down over that, and you can loosen that bolt, which I think is awesome. They have thought of everything. This works and replaces a massive tool set, really. Yeah, and if you look through, and I actually love just holding it and looking through all the sizes, because have you ever tried to try to unscrew or screw in a nut or a bolt, right? And you get to the thing where you don't know if it's this size or if it's that size or if it's this size or that, and you go through all these different wrenches to try to figure out which one is going to fit. This eliminates all that because all you do is you take this tool, go right up to wherever you're working, and you're just like, okay, not that one. Okay, it's not that one. It's all right in one hand. You're not taking, especially if you're using sockets and you gotta go back and forth. How many times have you done that? And look how much space it takes up. Peter, like a regular socket set, it takes up a lot of room, and you really got to know what you're doing, and you kind of got to search and figure out. Guys that are professional builders and things like that, or work on cars, they know which car or which bolts and sockets to use. But for the average person, we don't know. So this has all of those different ones, up to 70 different sizes this will fit. So if you've got an issue in your home or in your car or on your bike
or if you're fixing your kids' toys, I guarantee you, more than likely, one of these 70 different options will work for you. It's just brilliant, Pete.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you think about that set. So you were talking about that. So I have these, and certainly without my glasses, guy, I couldn't even tell if that's going to be. So that's 17 millimeter. So I'd be looking for that. That's not it. And then I've got these smaller ones. And then I find I have these old sets that don't even fit on the same ratchet handle. So it really, again, many of us aren't even doing that because it's a giant hassle and then we lose those. But this is right there. You can see the one that works best, put that over, and then all you're doing is turning it, and it works so well. And again, I was using this, I told you, Guy, I was replacing these big barn doors, and I have these big hinges, and they have the big handles on it. I was using this to take rusty bolts up, and look at that. You get so much power by putting a screwdriver through there. It was even better than, you know, the power that you can get with a ratchet handle. So it is incredible what it can do, but perfect to just throw it in a drawer. You mentioned maybe the kids' toys. That's going to be perfect. Things around the house, but never having to know. I don't know what metric is. I'm not sure if it's 1/2 inch or 3/4 standard metric. It could be TORX bolts. This will work on that. Those rounded off bolts that the wrench won't even hold anymore because it's just slipping, or maybe the wrench wasn't the right size and now you've kind of rounded it off a little bit. This is going to work, and it's super easy. It's really well made because I definitely put it through the test. You know what? I wasn't sure it was going to even be good enough for the presentation today. I actually washed this one under the water, dried it off. I mean, it looks brand new, but it was getting beat up and thrown around the barn. So it works, but it saves you so much time, so much money. And just the thought of looking for the bolt that fits and then maybe knowing you don't have it, you know you have it right here. 70 different ones.
Right, can't lose it.
We're talking about some of the ones you don't see, Guy, those TORX bolts. You don't see those very often, but it works. There it is. There's the TORX right there.
Even the strangest looking bolt, you could do it. And by the way, we mentioned if you've got a bolt that's a little beat up, a little cracked or a little worn down, it'll work on there as well. It'll even beat up old cracked bolts will come apart. The thing for me is that, listen, you could put this easily in the glove box of your car. Peter, I know you do all kinds of crazy stuff, like, you know, you're like one of those marathon guys. You like to hike. I know you like to bike. Dude, you got to have one of these in your pack for your bicycle, right?
It just makes sense. So it's cool that you're getting a set of two. So you can definitely have one in kind of in that main drawer in the house so you can reach it when you want it. But yeah, one in the car or one with you whenever you're going out to, you know, do some kind of fun adventure. It's a great thing to have. Guy, one more thing I thought was pretty neat. They wanted to include it. If you're using those drill bits, maybe it's for your small battery powered drill, but maybe that's, you know, that won't fit in an area because it's too large. So you can use this with those screwdriver bits, which I think is really cool. You can get that same torque, or you can use that with the screwdriver. So again, they've really thought of everything to make this the go-to all-in-one tool. I mean, this is your toolbox now. You don't really need to have that big toolbox. You don't need to be searching through those drawers, trying to find all those different sockets, all those different wrenches. This is it. It's all right there. So a set of two makes sense, and you get the red or the blue. So either one is really nice. But they work super, you know, they're really well made, as you mentioned in the beginning, because I really put them through the test where I had some old rusty bolts, but using that screwdriver so you can really get the strength in there, it works. You're going to love it.
Hey, you know what, Pete? Be a nice little Valentine's gift for your sweetie. Whether your sweetie,
that's actually a great idea,
right? You work on cars or bikes or whatever. I mean, it does. You also get something romantic, but maybe you get the one in red. Get the red one for Valentine's Day. No, do something romantic too. Otherwise, you know, you don't want to get in the doghouse. Pete, thank you, buddy. It's good to see you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bro. Be good.
See ya.
See you later. 712-040 if you want to pick it up.